Welcome back, everybody. I'm talking because I wanted to interrupt Lumi. Get in and actually do an introduction for once. I'm Gods, and we're here for our other SinaCup semi-final. We're going to have LGD Gaming up against Tongfu. Thank you, Lumi.
No problem.
I can be a nice guy as well. But the big story here for me is we've got ZSMJ playing for Tongfu versus his former team that kind of made him famous as the famous ZSMJ carry player. But here he is on the Tongfu side, actually playing support, though.
Yeah. And so far we see a Wisp ban, which is not something that you do against Chinese teams, but LGD yesterday has been showing some Wisp play. I don't think it was necessarily too impressive. I don't think any Chinese team is impressive with Wisp, but at least he drew out ban, and I think Tongfu is going to be forced to ban out Bat Rider as well. And that's going to allow LGD Gaming to grab whatever the hell they want to grab.
Yeah, Bat Rider almost has to be banned here. And then we start looking at those top tier supports, which seem to be what most teams are first picking, the Naga Siren. The Rubik less so.
Yes.
Maybe not first pick. When you have your lone first pick, it's normally a Weaver or a Naga Siren, I think.
Yeah,
Lifesteal is the other option as well, which is what IG first pick. But they go Naga Siren. So Lifesteal is still in the pool. And I expect something like a Lifesteal Weaver or a Lifesteal Visage here. If they go Lifesteal Visage, if LGD want Weaver, there's the Rubik already there to steal the Shikuchi.
I think LGD is definitely less reliant on the Lifestealer like IG is in terms of their carrier of choice. Yep. Xiao 2G to me is a little bit more versatile. I mean, Anti-Mage is definitely one of his go-to heroes. So between Xiao 8, Yao, and Xiao 2G or Rabbit, they have things like Magnus, Kunkka, even Clockwork for Yao. We've seen him play it a little bit earlier in the SinaCup, I think yesterday. So they definitely have a very wide hero pool. So no need to lock themselves into a carry hero of choice yet. Meanwhile, Tongfu, well, XTT, we saw him play offlane Timbersaw, I think against IG the other day.
Yes. No. That's right.
Ogura Yue, I think it's who they played against.
Yeah, he played offlane. That was when they had like the Timbersaw, the Storm Spirit, and some farmer food like a Weaver or something
like that, yeah.
Which was I like that. I like that draft. I like having the Storm Spirit being pulled out. Tongfu actually go for a Darkseid here though, so right off the bat they want to sort of guarantee themselves some sort of a team fight element, and we'll see what else they want to grab. I don't know if you go Lifesteal with this as well, because Darkseid Lifesteal you can sort of easily lead into LGD taking the Weaver, even though, like you say, Xiao Chuji not relying on having sort of these go-to carry heroes, but you can always run the off-lane Weaver. You can put Weaver even in the mid lane. Zhao Wei, I think, played Weaver the other day.
Weaver's definitely not one of... Oh, well then. What's with these Spirit Breakers left and right? And this is a second pickup here. So
Iron Shell Spirit Breaker hurts.
That really changes things. Yeah, Iron Shell Spirit Breaker is the thing. We saw Vacuum and Charge yesterday as kind of like a semi-combo in a sense. It really changes on what supports LG has to pick up. I think Naga Siren is an okay support in a sense, but you need supports that could lock Spirit Breaker in as he's charging in or as he's charging out from a gank. So
is Rubik okay with that? Like
Rubik is
a ton of Rubik.
Rubik is amazing against Spirit Breaker, and I think that's definitely a hero that you want to pick up right now. I think, or perhaps Enigma to me is a very good hero against Spirit Breaker because especially against this charge out. Malefice says you're going to be locked down. Very much so. Black Hole is very good against a Spirit Breaker that's trying to charge in. And I do believe DDC's been playing a bit of Enigma.
And this is almost where, like, we've seen a lot of teams picking Weaver and Lifestealer, but neither of those heroes is a good counter to Spirit Breaker. And Spirit Breaker, and you charge anywhere on the map, you get the vision of Weaver. Lifestealer, there's multiple stuns to go through his rage, so I feel like if anything, you want to start going other directions, but they'll go Weaver anyways.
I think at the same time that LGD Gaming has a really big weakness against Spirit Breaker during the staining stage, but once you make it past that point, they're really good against Spirit Breaker because they're a lineup that relies a lot on team fight and clumping up and grouping up, and you know, you're not too afraid of a Spirit Breaker charging into you when you're a party of 5 mid to late game. But earlier on when you're in the laning stage, we saw, I think it was NE New Elements just tore through LGD. I think they were doing some.
I think it's Tongfu. They lost to Tongfu, I want to say. LGD beat Beneski.
NE beats Tongfu with Spirit Breaker, and to me, Tongfu didn't know how to beat a Spirit Breaker. They were trying to kept throwing nukes at him. They were trying to push against him. You need to just group up.
They were getting triple stunned by him, which shouldn't really happen too much.
I'm surprised they actually banned out Dragon Knight. I feel like Dragon Knight's one of the better heroes against Spirit Breaker. You want to have as many instant stuns as possible. At the same time, Dragon Knight is fairly weak against Spirit Breaker once he's charging towards a mid lane, for example, where DK is expecting a 1v1 matchup.
Yeah. Spirit Breaker's won all his games so far in the SinaCup, correct? He's been picked twice.
I think so, yeah.
And won both.
Yeah.
Or maybe even 3 times he's been picked. We've seen we've seen quite a few picks of these new heroes. Troll being picked up in the last game. We've seen Elder Titan played fantastically. We haven't seen Abaddon yet. Haven't seen Centaur though. I don't think we will be seeing a Centaur. Maybe an Abaddon gets picked up as a very situational support.
Did we see Abaddon Weaver?
Tongfu's turn to pick.
One of these games.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. I've seen a lot of Abaddon.
We had an Abaddon.
I've seen a lot of Abaddon, like in the MLG tournament that we've been casting. So I just kind of put all my Abaddon picks into that turn. But okay,
well, we
have
We Play coming up next after this.
Yes.
So we might see a couple of newer heroes here. What about Centaur as a hero? Any thoughts on him?
I think he's definitely the weakest of the new heroes added to the CM pool. Although Ben Merlini Wu says the exact opposite, that he's the best. I didn't want to fight him on camera, so.
We fought him off camera.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
IRL with fists and stuff. But I'm very unimpressed with LG Gaming drafting Weaver as a second pickup. Like you said, Spirit Breaker counters Weaver, so you're picking into a hero that it's already counterpicked. Rubik would have been excellent against Spirit Breaker. Now it's excellent against Weaver. So I feel like Tongfu so far has better draft. When you pick Spirit Breaker, you already automatically have better draft, but strategically they're ahead as well, in my opinion.
The big hero that's still in the pool for me is the Alchemist. Neither team has gone for him yet, but I think he could fit into either draft as... Well, we're not going to see LGD run him as a solo mid. They could do the off-lane Weaver with a farming Alchemist. Tongfu could do either a 4-position Spirit Breaker or an off-lane Spirit Breaker and do farming Alchemist. I think it's very unlikely they'll go for the carry Spirit Breaker. I think that was something that New Element did, but I don't think that's the way we'll see most of these Chinese teams run him.
Yeah, I also think, off-lane Weaver is just not terribly too strong in terms of against Spirit Breaker, and not really one of Yao's heroes. Yao likes to play your Magnus, likes to play your Teamfight Initiator, your Clockworks, and I just don't see him have a similar impact that he usually has in teamfights with the Weaver. I really dislike Weaver from LGD because Weaver is also not a teamfight hero. Like, he can Sakuchi in and eventually kill a couple guys, but it's not a wombo combo kind of hero. So we'll see how it goes. Templar Assassin.
It's either farming Spirit Breaker or going to be it could still be 4-position.
Yeah, it still very well can be, but I imagine it's going to be a 1 Spirit Breaker.
Yeah. So TA going to be mid for Mu, and TA's very good against Puck. Just because of how well you can last it against Puck. Puck is almost... If you want to get farm, you have to go like the Null Talisman build, get pulled some regen to help you out. It's really difficult to get CS as a Puck.
10 seconds.
Very difficult to get CS. Sideblade Harass is immense, and depending on where he throws his orbs and charge in, and a couple of traps perhaps from Templar Assassin, will get a kill on Puck. But I imagine Puck gets out CS, but she's not going to die.
Yeah, well, LGD Gaming, they need to start looking towards a second support for their team. Like you say, an offlane hero for Yao, because Weaver is not really his hero. Something they could do if they really want is do the same thing that IG just did. Put Weaver in a 1v1 matchup against Darkseer and go for an offensive tri-lane. Mirana, to me, says offensive tri-lane. This is like your Windrunner tri-lane where you don't want to offlane your Mirana in a standard way. Either that or you do Weaver offlane. But I think more likely we see something like Yao and Mirana with a Naga Siren, a range support like a Jakiro or something, and they just take the fight to the tri-lane of Tongfu.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a support Mirana as well. Let's not forget something.
Oh, yeah.
Leaping backwards against the Spirit Breaker charge and then arrowing into him because he's moving in a very predictable fashion. That's going to be fine. I feel like LGD, from what we've seen so far against Mineski and now today, they're trying to go away from their very standard, we lose the early game and then we come back in a very meticulous teamfight late game strategy. It almost feels like after TI3, they're saying, you know, our standard strategy is not working out. They've been playing supports that are a little bit more mobile. And again, DDC and DD are struggling to keep up with that playstyle. But they're not relying on the Magnus. They're not relying on things like big AoE ultimates. They're going for more mobility, which is refreshing to see. But let's see if LGD can keep up.
It's a style of play they have to learn eventually. They need to be more versatile. They need to have those options available to them with the draft. They can't be as predictable as they were at TI3. Maybe that wasn't directly their downfall. Their downfall was Bulba's Clockwork, but in general it felt like they were, even if they beat LGD, they were never going to get better than maybe 5th or 6th place, maybe 4th place at best, just based on their playstyle.
If they beat Team Liquid, they were going to go all the way. I'm going to say. Because what's waiting after them? IG, that's a walkover team. And then Tongfu, that's another walkover team. And then they would have beat Orange, right?
What? Did you see LGD losing like 2-0 to Dignitas?
Come on.
Who loses 2-0 to Dignitas?
LGD was going to win it all.
AUI 2000? I've heard him talk about PL builds. That guy doesn't know anything about Dota.
Look. LGD was on my compendium.
Look, I'll take a load of PL over an AUI 2000 PL any day of the week.
I don't know.
I say this because Kurt's my friend, but
He's not your friend anymore.
I know. He's not coming back. He's going to decline all our future invites to come
I
to
miss,
the BTS studio. To
I miss Curtis. We were playing frisbee. He's actually a good cook.
Yeah, of the people we've had here, he's probably the one visitor I'd love to have back again.
And no one else.
I don't know. Who else did we have? We had Ben, but Ben's like now a permanent resident. He's moved out to LA, so we need to find new interesting people to bring in.
We need new blood.
We need Winter to come. Winter's off chasing women in Europe. He's taking a post TI3 holiday.
Yeah, he's a wife sealer.
Yep.
Of life sealers. I'm not sure where I was going with that one. All right, last pick up here, Tongfu. Looking for a support or a carry, depending on how they're going to lane their Spirit Breaker. So far, seems like they're unsure. Zoe says, do I want to play the Spirit Breaker, or do I want to AFK farm or Morphling?
Oh yeah, we've seen a lot of Joe
Morphling
lately.
Yeah.
But
10 seconds
Bounty Hunter's the pick, so offlane, this is support Spirit Break,
LGD.
or Jungle
Support
Darkseer.
Support
Yeah,
Darkseer.
you've got it right. So the problem is this means LG will look at this and say, hey, they're running a dual lane. We can definitely offensive trial in them. Shadow Demon, Mirana, Naga Siren, offensive trial lane.
This is insane.
Weaver goes 1v1 against Bounty Hunter and does pretty well. I'm fine. I think Weaver's safe lane doesn't have any problems with the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, we've seen teams even pull him a pair of Sentry, and then he just dominates Bounty Hunter. But for now, it seems like he doesn't have it. But let's introduce the team. On the Radiant side, we have LGD China, or just LGD now, trying to wrestle with a newer kind of different playstyle. DD is going to be playing a Naga Siren. We have a Mirana being handled by Yao. That's the first for me. DDC is going to be playing the support Shadow Demon. Xiaoei going mid on Puck, as always. And then we have Xiao Tuji or Rabbit playing Weaver.
Yep. Over on the Dire side, it's Team Tongfu. They managed to get to the semifinals, beating Team New Element, losing to a Spirit Breaker. So they're going to pick one up for themselves. It's Zhou playing the safe lane farming Spirit Breaker, supported by ZSMJ on the Rubik. Sanchan going to be playing a Jungle Darkseer. We've got in the mid lane, Mu on that Templar Assassin. Then finally, offlane, it's XTT going up against that Weaver. So lanes, as we kind of expected and called, it's going to be a 1v1 Weaver versus Bounty. Puck versus TA in mid, and the offensive trial is going to try and punish this weak dual lane of Tongfu.
Yeah, I mean, the offensive trial lanes actually, I think, where LG has to win pretty hard. Depending on who they want to initiate on, I think they could get very easy kills. When you open up with Disruption and Arrow, and then you follow up with things like Riptide and Carry, that's a ton of really nice damage output. Yep. You were asking where's the Shadow Demon lately. I think Shadow Demon fits this game perfectly when they have so much single target burst damage. We're talking about Melt Strike, we're talking about Charge, Nether Strike, Shracks. I mean, it's all single target. A well-placed Disrupt, you're not going to get that kill. In fact, a double damage rune spawn up on top lane here, and Mirana, for him to pick that one up, that's a huge boon. Yeah,
this is the Yao Mirana in this offensive trial. This is kind of a bit deja vu-ish, because this is the exact kind of draft that Tongfu lost to when it was New Element. It was a Wisp Spirit Breaker dual lane when they had a trial lane against a dual lane. They pretty much lost their trial lane versus dual lane matchup, so they'll take a little... They'll remember that game and say, hey, sure, they've got this offensive trial lane, but if we sort of just wait it out, Darkseer gets level 4, level 5, maybe comes and offers some support at top lane, chucks an Iron Shell on the Spirit Breaker, and then maybe they can actually sort of turn this lane around. Yeah, but I think right now what Yao's going to do is clear up this creep wave very quickly, perhaps dive with the first creep wave under the tower and perhaps set up a kill. Again, they're one disruption away and a good arrow for a death, but I don't think they get level 1 kills though, because this DD rune is already gone. Yeah, and unfortunately, I think you have to make a go instantly. Yeah. In the lane as a creep spawn, but you can see that both Zoe and ZSMJ, what they want to do is hide behind the creep wave, such that even if a disruption comes, there is no really good angle for Yao to come in with the arrow to follow up. But Yao, thanks to that double damage rune, 4 CS in the first wave. And Sancheng actually missed a stack here in the jungle, so this is going to hurt his farm quite a lot here in the Dire jungle. Missing that big stack, which he went for and just slightly mistimed, actually really matters as a Darkseer. I mean, that should not happen this level of play. Like, it just should not happen. It's one of those things which is really huge, because getting that stack and killing it means the sooner you do that, the sooner you can help top lane. Yeah, the way that jungle Darkseer kind of work is that you stack and then you kind of burst ahead in terms of your experience gain. And those stacks come once every minute. In fact, he's going to just straight up jungle this camp, which is a ton of his time wasted, to be completely honest. Yeah, he's got to do something, which I guess with the small camp not there, he could have gone maybe for those centaurs, but we'll see him just try and just do the best he can. And meanwhile, looking at mid lane, it is the Puck versus Templar Assassin matchup. As you'd expect, Puck not having an easy time, 3 last hits only, but he has got 4 denies, so he's actually not doing too bad as far as these early creep waves. But once we see Mu get his bottle out, start bottle crowing, whatever he may want to do, he's going to just start completely dominating Puck in CS. Yep. Looking at the bot lane here, we have 2 CS here on the Bounty Hunter.
And then meanwhile, you can see Xiao2G's 11 and 4, amazing CS for him. Again, the question always goes back to whether Bounty Hunter is going to be leveling up the Janata. Really speaks a lot to the playstyle of what him and what his team wants to do. If he's, for example, leveling up Shuriken Toss, it means that he's going to be looking for a lot more mid-game ganks. And we'll see whether those mid-game ganks will be coming.
Yeah, well, he's just... I think he's realized he can't really CS against this Weaver. Weaver just having sort of the damage, I guess, advantage with this early Battering. So he's actually going to pull a creep wave all the way to his tower at bottom lane.
I really like it. You really should not be missing any CS here with Shadow Walk. Oh, he misses that one.
We'll get this, but...
yeah.
This is good because it makes it a bit harder for Weaver to last it under his tower. Anything to sort of disrupt him. But I don't expect any kills to be happening at this bottom lane.
I mean, there is a sentry ward on Xiao2G. I'm not sure bought for him or he just bought it for himself.
Bought by Yao. Mirana buys him. That's an interesting choice.
We've seen this before.
Yeah.
The carry supporting with wards.
Well, he's not really... I mean, sure, he's in the tri-lane farmer, but Yao's never playing that carry role. He's always that kind of utility. I imagine we see just like... I mean, he'll still go semi-carry items here because he's a Mirana. You can't really... You can go mech.
I mean, at the same time, you can see your support knock. Oh, here we go. Disruption. Long-range arrow's going to follow through, and bam, Zoe gets cleaned through. But he's so tanky, he can charge away even if he wants to do so. Worse than ensnare, nothing ensnare just yet. And here, it's a charge. It's a first blood. Zoe picks that one up. He's going to survive with the salve as well. Not enough damage output from Yao. He's got leap. He's going to leap forward. Yes, he is eventually going to get the kill, but... Huge victory here from Tongfu. In fact, are they done just yet? Shansheng surges backwards here, sees DD. They'll just high-five and get back.
Yeah, well, that was a really good start for Tongfu. They get their first blood. This is the power of the Space Cow. He's just so tanky and hard to kill. He doesn't get the first blood himself, so he has to TP back top. He's actually... Zhou is still really poor. He's got no boots. He's only got 5 CS now. That's all bottom lane. There's your Sentry Ward coming to play.
Yeah, it looks like he blocks his own camp as a result. Sorry for missing that one on camera,
okay.
But it's just like Sakuchi, right click, and I don't think perhaps XCT realized that there was detection. Or he should have realized because there's detection already.
He probably did, just got a bit too cocky and caught out of position there. Meanwhile, top lane, there is a disruption, no arrow to follow.
Nice lift.
They just can't go in the Spirit Breaker. They have to try and get the disruption onto the Rubik. Problem is, where Rubik's positioned, he's always going to be sort of blocking the arrow or too far back that the arrow won't be able to land on.
Or he just lifts Yao like he just did there and prevents the arrow from coming through. So, yes, Space Cow, very tanky. You talked about him not getting too much farm, but I think Zoe's okay with that because, like we talked about previously, Space Cow's one of those heroes that don't really need too much farm to be effective. So, he just wants level, the ability to charge in, and then, oh, here we go, charge is going to go, disruption not going to follow through, it's dropping quite low, arrow's going to follow and self-disrupt, but that's only delaying the inevitable. There's going to be the death of him. Very nicely played.
This is what Tongfu knew they would be able to do and just do fine at this top lane. Darkseid gets some levels, he comes in and helps out the lane. You get the Iron Shell, you put you surge the Spirit Breaker in. Spirit Breaker, he gets bonus damage based on movement speed, so a surge Spirit Breaker is getting a ton of bonus damage.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about the synergy there. We just talked about things like Iron Shell, Space Cows, but yeah, Surge Space Cow just as effective. He does have a single point of it in Empower Haste at level 4. I imagine he's going to be leveling up Greater Bash. Quick question here mechanically is, does Disrupted Illusions of Zoe get the Greater Bash? I think they do, right?
I do not know.
Well, not every
you don't get like normal bash. You don't get normal bashes on illusion.
Yeah, you don't. So I'm not sure if it works. Arrow's gonna follow through, and Zoe is. I don't think he's gonna die here. You gotta disrupt him. Disrupt. Oh, DDC, missing it. I think he just fogged as he ran through these trees.
Salves up, sticks up. There's a puck actually rotating towards top. They're actually fighting over the top rune. It looks like Zhao needs to be careful because Zhou, he's already salved up.
Oh, he misses the coil on Zoe.
I thought it looked like Zhou could have gone there. It looks like he decides not to, but Zhou with Iron Shell on him could have chased the puck and done a ton of damage there. But we're going to see the two supports from LGD rotate in, as does Yao, and Arrow would be death. So they smartly retreat here, and we may see Zhou go all the way back to Found to heal up because he's missing a good chunk of HP.
Yeah, so far, if we kind of recap the lane here, Xiao2G winning that bot lane with a single kill. He's got a dust on him now. He's looking to play ultra aggressive. I mean, generally Bounty Hunter is the hunter, obviously, but he's about to die here if he gets dusted in this particular lane. Meanwhile, mid lane, obviously a huge win here for our Templar Assassin player. CS-wise, actually, puck
top lane. Rubik's being stunned under the tower. They do find a kill on him. Yao now going to leap his way out. It's a counter TP from Sancheng, but he's just level 4. Could surge himself, but he wants to really surge this.
Oh, the bashes! Oh, the ensnare's going to be there. It's going to be enough to survive. Yeah, Starfall is going to come through. Sancheng chasing just for a little bit of extra damage. Do we have charge available? It's already been used. 13-second on the cooldown, so he's gonna be fine.
What happens if you get ensnared, and then can you start casting charge while you're ensnared?
Yes, you can, and you will charge out of the ensnare.
Okay.
Yeah, you definitely can cast spells when you're ensnared. But
Yeah, it's just I'm wondering like how that would so it doesn't keep
very similar to like casting leap ensnare.
Yep.
You'll still go away. You could do it under things like Frostbite and
But after you leap, you're still ensnared?
Yes, you are.
But how does that work with charge? Like, if you hit someone, like, really close, you're still ensnared after it, I guess?
Yes, you are. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting little mechanic.
Generally, that shouldn't come up too often.
Yeah. No. Normally, the ensnare will come maybe to stop the charge or something.
The problem with Naga's ensnare is that the cast point is so slow and it's so long that he'd be charging like halfway across the screen before the snare actually catches up to him. So.
Bottom lane, Weaver's just doing it. Look at this Weaver CS. 54 CS to the 14 on Bounty Hunter. He's actually got dust on him. He really wants to go for a kill on XDT. And he definitely can. Level 2 Swarm, so if he gets the Swarm on him, Bounty Hunter has no TP scroll to just get the hell out of there. This is probably going to be a kill if he really wants to die for it. The thing he's scared of is always counter TPs.
Yeah, the one thing that he has to... Well, actually not so much, because Time-Lapse will debuff the track, and of course, he will be able to use Sakuchi again. So I'm not even sure he's even scared of the counter TP. This is a very important point to point out for what Xiao Tuji is doing. Not only is he CSing well, he's also limiting the CS of XTT by insane amount, by applying pressure onto him. And he is going to dive. Now, the big thing that he has to be concerned of is when he uses a Swarm, and if he knows the Swarm is going to hit, he has to dust. Because if the Swarm goes on the Bounty Hunter and he windwalks it, the Swarm just immediately falls off. It does not affect invisible targets. So he has to dust to maintain the visibility of Bounty Hunter.
And also getting all that bonus damage from the minus armor and whatnot. But Bounty's here trying to just slow down this T1 tower defense. Darkseer as well, so... Get an Iron Shell on the Bounty Hunter, be as annoying as possible. Problem is, if they just dust him up because they sort of detect he's there from this Iron Shell, he will die so fast. Charge coming though. DDC, he's got the charge on him. They've seen it though. There's an Observer Ward all around this middle lane, which will see Spirit Breaker charging bottom.
Yeah, the big problem, or I guess the big concern for DDC, it looks like charge is going to get cancelled. Yeah. Depending on how far he's coming in, the cast animation of Disruption might be a little bit too long to make that charge actually work. Or sorry, the disruption might actually be too long to make it such that he can't cast disruption
in the bottom jungle. It looks like the two supports smoked up are actually going to run right into a Spirit Breaker, Darkseer, and Bounty Hunter. There could be some track kills coming out. Xiao Wei's arrived with a level 2 Waning Rift. Needs to start casting something, but he can't do anything. Moonlight Shadow going to invis up LGD. Can they make a fight of this? Zhou's going to be the first to be brought down. No, Nagasiren takes a fall as well. And so far, 1 for 1. Looks like Darkseer knows he's got to run for this. And Weaver is king of these scrappy fights. He's taken out one in the river, wants a second. He's used the dust. XTT's got nowhere to run. 4 heroes killed by LGD, only losing Nagasiren. What a great fight from them. Weaver is just too farmed and just such a scary presence. And he's now hit level 11 and we're just 10 minutes into the game.
Yeah, I mean, solo kills, dust available on the Weaver, dust being able to, nullify exactly what Bounty Hunter could do. The lack of tracks and the lack of multiple tracks is absolutely huge as well. Because they could have, for example, used those movement speed to run away. The sad thing for them is Temple Assassin just died immediately in the outside of the team fight. A couple more traps, maybe they're going to slow the entire LGD team around and basically go for return kills. XCT on the mid lane, tracking up Xiao Wei, and immediate charge coming in. Really don't think this kill is going to happen.
I feel Tongfu really need to get kills where those fights happen because they've got a Bounty Hunter Spirit Break line. This is all built around getting kills and getting track kills, but LGD can just counteract that by sticking together as 5 when they feel threatened, which is exactly what they did there. And as a result, Tongfu just lose here as they can't really fight head on unless Darkseer has something like a mech as well as more points into the vacuum.
Yeah, what they're trying to do is the exact same thing that New Element Esport did against them, which was track and Bounty Hunter just charging in from any position and getting the kills. But I feel like LGD very well equipped to deal with it. Once Naga hits 6, Song is a anti-charge, Disruption is an anti-charge depending on how far he's charging in. Of course, Puck doesn't care too much about charge because he's got phase, so I feel like Zoe is not really playing a hero and perhaps not drafting a hero correctly.
We are going to see Xiao Wei with 2.6k gold, probably a Blink Dagger being picked up on him any second now. Yep, it's coming on out, and I definitely agree. We haven't seen Spirit Breaker have the impact he needed. I think this top lane was just well sort of executed by LGD. They knew they didn't have to outright dominate it, but they just prevented Spirit Breaker from doing anything. Huge arrow at bottom lane from long distance. XTT is going to take a fall. They used the dust just to be safe. He arrowed from the trees on the right, and there's no time to react to that, because by the time you see it, it's come from the fog, and it's already, like, on top of you.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
think it's not looking too good. I mean,
I love this build from Yao. Arcane Boots on Morale. I was just about to say, when it was like doing the trailing firing, I want to see like a Mushi. Arcane Shadow Blade was what Mushi did. I don't think we'll see the Shadow Blade, but it's definitely a utility build from Yao. This is his role. He doesn't play the carries. He plays the utility teamfight type heroes. And with this Ring of Regen, is he going mech? Or even 4-star?
I don't know. I'm not sure what he has.
He's going mech.
He's going mech.
I love it.
We've seen it all. Mech, Arcane, Mirana. I mean, if you
knows
think about
his role.
Mirana, in a sense, is just a kind of a spell carry in a sense, and she's being played as such. Here comes Mirana coming from the right side. Hero that's going to be scouting, or is it going to hit? It's going to hit a range creep.
He was looking for it to land, but not going to catch on, and this T1 tower could just go down. There's the plus armor from Buckler. Buckler Dota, Lumi.
No Essence or the Procket this time. Your Trap's going to go down. It's ZSMJ. He's going to get coil from behind, and he's going to get brought down. Track not on top of him, but Leon Mu in the middle of this particular team. Moonlight Shadow's going to get used. Not sure how effective that is because of Track. So far back and forth they go.
Only on the puck for the time being.
Oh, here comes Charge! Spirit Breaker Dota coming back in. Does he have dust? No, there isn't any. So they will have to back off, and it looks like DD will actually go back into invisibility, but not quickly enough. Here comes Xiaowei trying to do something. Spirit Breaker still very tanky, but no, he does go down to Yao's last right click.
Weaver is just going to clean up here, I feel. And Zhao Tuji, oh, arrow narrowly missing Mu. If that lands, it's a definite kill. He may just go down anyways. They may need some more detection here. Mu in trouble. He's out of mana, and he needs to try and bottle up in between these attacks.
Rabbit. 6-1 charges.
Ooh, looks like Rabbit, not Zhao Tuji, not able to find any more kills here. Zhao Wade actually the one in a lot of trouble. Great 3-hero silence, and it sets up a kill on TA. He does go down, but Weaver may get some more kills out of this. Lucky. Shikuchi gets stolen from Rubik. ZSMJ, he's on the run. He's not out yet.
One more click. Oh, he does go into invisibility. The charge is going to come through. And let's see if Xiao Tuji's have the awareness.
Full want.
You get, I mean, full want. Is there dust available? Does he? No, he did not buy dust for himself. So, oh, he's thinking about getting the lift on. Sentry's going to get dropped down. There's a lift, and if the ultimate falls down, they don't have ultimate. No precision bash. Oh, Sakuchi goes back in. ZSMJ dies. I really like the aggressive lower
arrow
speed
misses.
play.
The disruption actually makes the arrow miss, but there's a purge. They may just get Zhou anyways. Insnared up, taking a ton of damage. Starfall to finish him off, and now Tongfu are just in over their heads. They're trying to bring down Shadow Demon. They will do so, but they've lost the Spirit Breaker in the meantime, and Weaver looking to go back in.
Two-man coil orbs on
Korea's
top.
dead.
Shansheng's dropping low as well. That's yet another
Korea
kill.
died to a Gemini attack as well.
Oh no, that's definitely not good. Xiaowei still looking for a little bit more chase. XCD coming back in. The arrow's going to hit a melee creep.
This Weaver's been tracked for like the last 5 minutes of the game, but he just doesn't care.
It doesn't matter. There's just no lockdown aside from a telekinesis lift or charge. And of course, he's got time lapse against all of that. In fact, here we go. The push sustained on the mid lane. Where's the mech coming in? And of course, Zoe with a charge. One thing I want to say is that LGD is completely aware of Zoe's movement. Zoe's aware, like he's back alive, and they just back off. They realize that charge can come back in.
LGD are playing like Russian Dota here, I want to say. They're just man-fighting time and time again and going for some unorthodox but very effective build. The mech is going to come out now on Yao. This teamfight gets even scarier by the minute.
But unlike Russian Dota, they back off at the right time. I mean, charge comes, and there's like, you know what, we realize Zoe's alive, so let's back off. Russian Dota would just still be fighting right now.
Yeah, the score would have escalated a lot more, but in Tongfu's favor, Tongfu have only got the 7 kills, and that's with a Bounty Spirit Breaker like TA draft, and there's Darkseer to help surge these heroes up. The good news for Tongfu is they've got a mech on the Darkseer. It should be coming out any second now. That's going to help them a lot. So both teams get mech at around the same time at this 15-minute mark. So somewhat negating itself, but I still feel this benefits LGD more because their team's just a lot stronger.
Yeah, I think Xiaowei has been finding 3-4-man coils every time that he blinks in, or at least, at the very least, 2. So he's been on top of the mark, and he is going to be looking for a Hex variation. Well, he did go Dagon last time. I don't think this is a Dagon game.
Weaver has a Lincoln.
Yep, he does. He's leading in terms of net worth, 8k gold on top of him. The next closest is his own teammate, Xiaowei, at 6k gold. He's almost 4k ahead of Tongfu's highest.
Combine that with his level 14. The next highest hero in the game is like level 11 or something.
Top lane, Zoe's going to get picked up here. GSMJ is going to be next to the depth protection. That's the question. No, they don't need. Oh my god, the double damage. Instead's going to get Sakuchi away here, and ZSMJ barely survived.
Ran the wrong direction here. ZSMJ using all his mana to spam that Sakuchi out. It looks like Zhao Tuji not going to find him, at least not yet.
He's giving the chase in the correct general direction here.
Oh, I think they spotted each other, but there's a Sentry Ward waiting. No, there's no Dire Sentry Ward, just a Radiant one.
I mean, even though they're going to track him up, he's got Lincoln's 15 magic wand charge, swing crit, and time lapse. No way Xiao Tuji is going to be dying.
Yeah, Zhao Tuji's played a flawless game. He's 7-0-6, and there's so many times where he's been tracked, low HP, and been kept alive. Zhao 8's played a big part on that 2-3 hero waning rift, not just the Dream Coils that you mentioned. And, well, T1 Tower gets taken down, goes to the Weaver as well. If this Weaver gets like a Desolator in the next 4 or 5 minutes, these heroes will just start melting.
Yeah, you can see that Tongfu Mu started with the face boots, and I think he wanted to go a Blink Dagger immediately after, but he's actually forced to go now a... oh, that was a misplay here by XTT. XTT wanted to throw a Shuriken Toss and then track him up, but the track came out a lot quicker than the Shuriken Toss projectile.
He threw the Shuriken first, but the track didn't actually land.
Yeah, you have to wait for it to land and then you track, so a little bit of misplay. Arrow's gonna fly through here. That's gonna hit on target on top of Mu, but no, I'm not sure. Oh, charge! Hits Xiao A. He's gonna go right into 3 heroes, but Zoe, he's got careful. Oh, Persia on top, and he's gonna be dead. He's gotta use ult to deep joint some of the damage. He goes right in, but he's gonna die. Vacuum on top. DD's dropping low. Song Siren being popped, and it's full retreat time after killing Zoe. Or is it retreat? Arrow, that's gonna hit. Oh, what a play here. And they're gonna go on Shanshan. No mech being activated. He is dead as well. And now the route is gonna continue to go on. Xiao Tuji, they're just gonna hit on XTT, and XTT should be dead.
I think he airballed the Dream Call Zhao 8, unfortunately. He's been spot on so far, but this is a dead bounty hunter. Brought down. Another kill goes with LGD. They're up 18-7, and things looking very peachy.
Yeah. It seems like the overnight, all the Chinese team just huddled together and says, let's just not play Chinese Dota anymore. Let's just amp up the aggression and farm.
The number of like 20-ish minute games we've had here, and not because they've been like huge stomps, but just because teams are playing a lot more fast-paced, getting kills fast, and if they get an early lead, they don't just sit back, play passive, kill Roshan whenever it's up, take towers as 5, and they just go all-out man mode. And that's what we're seeing from LGD.
And it's not like they're picking different heroes. In fact, it's the same hero. It's just a different, more aggressive, refreshing playstyle, it seems like. Again, it's been a lot of sloppy plays from both teams, but it really allows individual playmakers, such as Xiao Tuji on the bot lane, to set up these plays. Zoe's going to be charging back out of here to the top lane, which is fine.
I think this is where LGD, I'm sure they lost a fantastic carry play in Sylar, but Xiao Tuji will suit this playstyle so much more. I don't think this is the kind of role that Sylar even played.
I mean, Sylar is one of your player that just AFK farms, and I think Sylar is by far a lot better farmer than Xiao Tuji. But Xiao Tuji, again, a carry with fangs. So he is killing stuff. He's teleporting in 8-0-8. He's been involved in 16 out of the 18 kills of his team as a one-role carry player. Like, you cannot ask anything more out of your carry.
Well, it's weird. Like, he used to be playing with Rising Stars. They were one of the few teams picking Wisp, playing aggressive, and I think something must have stood out for LG to realize this is what we're going to do with our team moving forward. Change our playstyle, get more aggressive, as we see. Well, we don't see Zhao Wei get a kill. He's got a Dagon.
I just talked about how... I mean, Dagon...
Chinese Dota with Dagon Park. This is like Pinoy Dota, man.
Man, I don't know. Maybe the TI3 result has just lit a fire under Xiao A and his team, but they definitely are playing very, very well right now.
Oh yeah, Mu just trying to do what he can on the front lines. He's in stand up.
That's gonna get hit as well. Purge is gonna be on top as well. Blink Silence Coil on top. Mu is dropping low. He's gonna pop his magic wand, but dropping very, very quickly. Looks like Xiao Tuji doesn't want to make that chase with Woki. They back off.
Really timely Zhao Wei initiation there. He went for the wall of rep for vacuum, but as he's doing the vacuum, he gets silenced. So not getting vacuum to that wall made a big difference for LGD. And I think it's just a level 1 wall of replica, because that did not last long at all. And LGD now want to get this tier 2 tower. Mech is up on Mirana. That's there if they need it. I want to see what Yao gets next. I'd love to see like a Shadow Blade or just something completely clowny, but he's played really well in this Mirana.
Yeah, I mean, if he wanted to go down a supportive path, I think things like a Vlad's would be pretty good. Pipe, maybe will make him lower. I think a simple Yasha, even SMY wouldn't be too bad here. But this is charging. I hear the Mu goes in, and they're going to go right DDC. But DDC could pop itself. Disruption. Is he doing it just yet? No. Song Siren gets casted, immediately cancel. Misplay coming out from LGD, and Mu just goes ham in the middle of team fight. But he gets taken down. He's popping. Oh no, surge back here. And Zoe's doing way too much damage in this middle of team fight. Xiao A trying to phase it out, but he's going to get bashed down as well. One of the rare mistakes coming out from LG. They really should back off, respecting the charge of the Spirit Breaker. DD dropping low, but it's going to get Janata crit down as well. Back on the right side here, Xiao Tuji. Should be fine.
Where can he run to? I think they've used all that. Yeah, their Dust and Sentries have all been used already. Charge going to go. Oh yeah, he's got no leap, and he is going to be brought down here. Tongfu's first good team fight of the game. They kill 4 heroes. The only hero they can't kill is this Weaver, but they made the smart choice, which was just ignore the hell out of him.
Ignore the Weaver and go for everybody else, and you gotta keep in mind that's 3 or 4 track kills that Tongfu just picked up, so the gold graph will heavily reflect that. I just talked about how LGD is very aware of the position of Zoe in that one team fight where they kind of dropped their constant vigilance, if you will, and they just got picked off multiple times. This is a very dangerous chasing lineup. We saw Annie do it against Tongfu yesterday, and doing the exact same thing now against LGD today.
Well, they've still got to really worry about this Weaver. The comebacks may be begun, but there's still such a long way to go. And this is what happens when you play this more high-risk style of Dota. You will lose a fight like that every now and then if you're LGD, but I think they just say, well, that's going to happen every now and then. They didn't execute well. The Song of the Siren was slightly off. There was actually a disruption on the TA, and they missed the arrow follow-up. He fired it just half a second too late, which made quite a big difference there as well. So all in all, it was a slightly poorly executed fight, but LGD are not going to worry at all. Weaver's got 3.3k gold, so that's like 500 away from a Desolator, which I imagine is his next item of choice, and from there, they're just looking really sweet.
Yeah, going back to the Dagon choice of Xiaowei, yesterday he got it against a Naga Siren. I thought mostly as a high priority kill, you gotta get him before he pops his ultimate. I think he's just been favoring Dagon, again, a change of playstyle. Instead of rushing for a more late game Hex, he just want more damage output, remove a target, and then move on to the next. We're going to see Zoe. He's going to try to charge out of here. It's up to Xiaowei to either get a Coil off. Yeah, Coil's got to hit. Coil, that's going to break the charge, and now trying to TP back out. Arrow's going to hit, and bang! Right in the face. Nice gang coming out from LGD.
And here's the item choice from Yao. It's a support item. He's going to be going for a Drum of Endurance, so more movement speed, more chasing, more fantastic auras for the team.
More HP.
It's looking great. I like what LGD are doing. I like what I'm seeing from this new team. It feels like just a reinvigorated squad right now.
And now they're going to try to siege a tier 2. I really like the...
Roche?
Yeah, I really like the direction
Morana's top, so we're not going to see an arrow scout things out, but Weaver can throw some Swarm Beetles. They know this is happening.
Yeah,
even without vision, they sense this.
I mean, when there's nobody defending the tier 2 like this, and you recognize that there's a Templar Assassin Mel minus armor, you have to respect the fact that the Roshan can easily get claimed. In fact, it's going to be Xiaotuji walking in, getting bashed a little bit. He says, thank you for the free damage. I got a Desolator to continue the minus armor trend. And here we go, but Charge is coming back in. Do they recognize this?
There's a song. Yeah, there is a Song of the Siren, so they can try and take the fight.
Gotta use the song right now. The stun comes through. Song! Where's the song? Song comes out. Everybody's reset. Arrow's gonna miss. Are they gonna cancel it? Nothing just yet. Roshan gets Arrow in the middle of everything. Swarm's gonna get dropped, but they gotta back off. Spirit Breaker's way too
No coil for
closing.
10 seconds. They use that coil on the Spirit Breaker top, so they probably wait for that coil to come back up. Ensnare. Oh, the arrow missed.
Oh no, Yao misses.
SB wasted ulti on the Lincoln, so there comes your wall of replica. Is this going to be enough to take the fight? Arrow, I think, stolen by Rubik.
That's stolen on Xiaowei, and here we go.
Gotta follow this up. Great defensive disruption, though, and it looks like Tongfu may be able to take this fight. Charge onto Yao. He's not got mech right now, and Yao going to take a fall. They've killed 2, including the puck. XTT getting tracks up. Can they bring down Xiaotuji? Because with that Desolator, he is just killing these heroes so fast, including Sancheng on the Darkseid, who is going to take a fall just barely. Gets the Weaver with it, though. And Tongfu in a very scrappy fight. I think it's like a 3-for-4 trade, but track kills, buyback on puck. Tongfu is still looking okay here.
Tongfu looking really good. Mu is just one man fight. Here comes CSMJ out of mana. Got 4 charges, Magic Wand, and he spell seal anything. Yao's gonna die again. Dagon's gonna fly through, forced back by the Blink Dagger. That is 8 kills, I want to say, because you have your 5 initial kills. Marana died and bought back. That's 1 more kill on him. Also, I think Xiaowei bought back as well. That's 7 or 8 kills. That's an insane amount of economic damage. Not to forget that there was 4 or 5 initial track kills. Tongfu is back.
Yeah.
And I don't want LG to be like, all right, let's forget this playstyle. Like, we're winning the early game. We gave away 2 team fight in a row. I mean, that's generally how they beat other teams, generally. And now they're kind of falling prey to their own aggressiveness, in a sense.
I think these fights are on the Roche and people are okay for them. It's just coming down to execution errors for the most part, because with their item advantage, I mean, both teams have a mech here, but they've got the better team fight. They've got the better carry with this Weaver. His damage output is scarier than anything that the Dire team have.
I mean, do they have better team fight? Dreamcore was nice 10 minutes ago, but now the team fight is Zoe charging in from the...
There was no Dream Call. That fight was the big thing. When the song came out, there was no Dream Call to follow anything up. But
right. And when it came, it was too late. But now you're dealing with traps and vacuum and charge, which you don't traditionally see as like a Dream Core or Song of Siren in terms of like effectiveness in a big AoE. But these team fights are not really AoE team fights. These are not really a traditional Chinese team fights where it's big AoE spells left and right, Magnus, RP, Black Holes. This is just charging in or trap on 2 heroes, forcing a run, vacuum on the other 2 hero. I think Tongfu, to me, have better team fights in a style of game where it's not about big AoE. It's about smaller scale more spammy spells.
Yeah, and this Darkseer is really, I think, the difference maker in a lot of these team fights. Iron Shell on the Spirit Breaker giving him a ton of extra damage because he's always next to hero with his charge, with his ultimate, and Vacuum Walls have just proven to be essential just for creating chaos. It makes it harder for Weaver to actually latch onto the right heroes to do as much damage as he'd like, and all in all, LGD, they're still ahead, especially as far as gold is concerned, but with all those buybacks used, it's kind of a bit misleading. XP in the favor of Tongfu for the first time this game.
Yeah. Would you say that Tongfu is actually winning this game right now so far with 2-1 team fight?
I don't think they're winning yet. I think we're close to... I'd say LGD have the slight edge just because they seem to have better control. They're the ones who are just... They're the ones controlling the game and deciding what's happening. It was them who decided to take a fight at Roshan. And what happens next, whether there's a push on the bottom lane, another contest over Roshan, it's sort of LGD who are in the driver's seat.
Okay.
Tongfu have to react to LGD, which to me says LGD have a slight advantage.
Well, so far, the reacting from Tongfu has been, at least for the last 2 team fights, very, very... they're winning these team fights.
Well, they're not going to be able to react in time to the tier 2. Sidesteps the arrow. That was the other huge thing. Rubik's arrow onto Puck that last fight.
Zoe got to charge out somewhere. No, he's just staying put, saying, come at me, guys. By the way, I'm not sure if I've ever seen Zoe having the score. He's 0, 9, and 10.
Bye-bye, Burden.
Bye-bye, Burden. Damn. Well,
not my words.
Not just paraphrasing him.
Well, quoting him.
You're quoting.
Paraphrasing.
Quoting.
But yeah,
actually, he's having a huge impact in the game, though,
yes.
despite of...
Yeah, the score is definitely misleading, but Weaver needs to be careful. Going to Shikuchi out before anything too dangerous happens, but Rubik, ZSMJ with that, just as I brought up, the arrow on the Puck that last fight, to me, almost won them that fight. He's still got this arrow skill, which he's just thrown out, trying to find, scouting with it, trying to find kills with it. This has been a very, very big playmaker, ZSMJ, on this Rubik.
Yeah, I think by far, having Arrow on your team, to me, in this game, is a lot more impressive than having a Dreamcore, even a Song the Siren, or even like Sakuchi, simply for the fact that it's one of those spells that you can't really play around. Like, if you're playing against a Mirana, he's like, alright, we gotta be careful of Arrow. Suddenly, there's like a semi-Mirana on the other side when he is arrowing out of fog, and that turns team fights around. So, I feel like if he keep getting these arrows, and he keep landing on these arrows, ZSMJ is carrying his team, one way or another.
Yeah, it's something which his sort of ability and just his current day skills was somewhat brought into question, especially when he was playing, when he first brought into the Vici gaming squad playing the carry role. He wasn't, it didn't really seem like he had the same ability that he used to have, but here on the support role, he's got great game sense, and you don't need that amazing mechanics necessarily, not to say his mechanics are bad, but it seems to just suit him really well, this support role.
And here we go, we're going to see right into the
They're too
Roshan
late to
pit they go.
contest.
Charge is going to come in again. You can't actually get the song off, especially if you get fog like this. The charge gets cancelled. Zoe says, alright, we're not supposed to fight them when they have Aegis. They back
Do you
off.
still doubt whether LGD have the slight advantage? It's like they get the T2 tower uncontested. They then get a Roshan uncontested. And not just from Tongfu's bad play or not reacting. It's more just they push out these lanes such that Tongfu have to defend, and LGD just have better control over the map, it feels like.
I think LGD has stronger heroes at this point, but in a team fight where both these teams just clash in a chaotic fashion, I'm not sure where I could bet money on. Oh, Zoe, cancel that TP. Alright, there you go.
Well, if Joe can get up a BKB, Templar Assassin has got a BKB now. These fights could turn around. They're going for the triple BKB. Bounty Hunter wants one, Spirit Breaker wants one. There's still decent amount of physical damage, though, with this Weaver Desolator.
It's a defense up on the top lane here. Rabbit is doing a ton of right clicks. New answers back. And so far, they're thinking about slowly sieging this. One thing to actually talk about is that Charge actually, in my belief, unless they changed it recently, cancels a Lincoln Sphere the moment that you pop it. So, in fact, Zoe, in theory, has the ability to cancel a Lincoln Sphere from afar.
Yeah, at the cost of a fairly high cooldown spell.
Yes,
35-second cooldown. He probably wants to save it for a team fight and try and stun multiple heroes. LGD, though, they decide not to linger at top lane. They could have done a bit more chip damage maybe to the tower, but ultimately there's farm to be had on these side lanes. Mirana going for a Diffusal Blade.
Yeah, not too bad.
Interesting choice.
I mean, if you purge, for example, the TA
But they have
in the middle of team
BKBs?
fight,
BKB, does BKB get rid of the slow if you
I do believe
use
it
it
does.
after the slow's used?
I do believe it does. And
I know some stuff like Venomancer Gales and stuff, you're still slowed afterwards.
I don't think this is one of the spells that works. I'm not sure whether it's... Okay, either I'm completely wrong on the fact that Charge debuffs Lincolns, or Zoe does not realize that he debuffs Lincoln immediately upon cast. Because basically it adds a global ganking tool against a Lincoln for Weaver. You could Charge, immediately break the Lincoln, so you have ZSMJ lift him up or track him up with XCT. So either I'm completely wrong, or
I'm pretty sure he realized. You're definitely right. It's more a matter of what they can't gank him because he's got Aegis anyways. They'll have to invest so much that if he has backup behind him, which right now he's got 3 heroes sitting right behind him, the fight's going to be. They're going to have to throw so much at him that they lose the fight anyways.
right at the same time you could charge it or track him or something. Just having a good
just for the
vision.
sake of
Yeah.
track.
So, by the way, track, I believe, one of the kind of most innocuous ultimates in team fights, but one of the most important ones, because if you track half the enemy team, it's like giving map hack, giving kind of semi-perma haste on your entire team. It's very, very insane. So any type of time you could get track off, especially in the beginning of a long team fight, it's huge. Tongfu smoked up, looking for targets.
Yeah, if there's any doubt about who's in control and who's ahead right now, Tongfu were forced just to 5-man sit in their base, and now they're doing this sort of complexity-style 5-man smoke gank, trying to find a pick-off. LGD, meanwhile, are kind of farming in 3-4 different locations on the map. Mirana's heading top. Puck was in the enemy jungle. Other 3 heroes top. And this smoke gank is not going to find a single hero in the Radiant jungle.
Yeah, if you're smoking with Spirit Breaker, it's definitely not the way the hero that's meant to be played. You want your team fight to be chaotic in the middle of the map, and then the Spirit Breaker charges in.
They're defending this.
Oh, well, we'll see about
They
this.
can buy TPs if he songs this. They get everyone can TP. They don't have to worry about the TP duration.
Man, I think they're very confident defending this. If you look,
No TP.
No TP.
GD's kind of like on his own here.
He's actually delaying by quite a bit.
Okay.
Is this delaying?
Weaver's really far away though.
And Weaver's gonna cut off retreat paths. I think if they could force everybody around, this could be a huge team fight. Blink, Orb's gonna miss, and looks like they're gonna focus right on. Oh no, nice face on top, and I think the wall gets missed as well. But he charges the right side here. Xiaoei, it's kind of trapped in the trees. He's phasing, and now Zoe's trapped between the trees.
It's good for Joe. He gets his kill.
I mean, he gets his kill, or does he? No, he doesn't. Iron Shao's gonna bring the kill finally, and now Xiao Tuji finally in the fight. ZSMJ being focused, and ZSMJ's on the run. He's
The gem's
okay
there.
as well.
Joe has no TP though. He
had charge. He could charge out of this arrow.
10 seconds.
Uh-oh, it misses. All right, 1v1 arena. Zoe. Jiao. Nobody wants to fight. In
He's
fact, I
gonna
think...
try to charge out. They need to save the disruption. Shadow Demon needs to move up and block this.
Oh, no! Marcel, yes! There's a disruption.
Oh, poor Joe. Well, I don't know if you caught that there, but basically, as soon as the fight broke out, he started charging Puck, and Puck immediately blinks to those trees.
Yeah, I was like, where did Puck go? I thought he phased.
I don't think that was a bad decision from Zhao Wei. He did not want to go into those trees. He needed to blink upwards and to join his team, because he blinked away from his team there to go into those trees, but it's spelled his own death.
I mean, it looked a little bit awkward, but if he blinks behind his team, his entire team's getting charged. So it's just like...
Or they could cancel it if they got some fast reaction.
I don't think anybody had a faster reaction than Xiaoei in that engagement. So
he sealed his own fate by blinking there. That was really the problem, and he couldn't really offer a whole lot. He didn't get a Dream Call down. He didn't get even a good Waning Rift off. Puck was a non-factor in that fight.
Yeah, it was. The wall was also a non-factor. Again, these kind of very scrappy engagements, very chaotic engagement. I don't think neither of these two teams are are used to these playstyles. And we are getting a lot of refreshing games, but at the same time, there's a lot of like random mistakes that we see.
Well, Weaver's, I don't know if you commented, has got his BKB up now. He had a ton of gold. He's got BKB and then 2k gold on top of that. This Zhao Tuji Weaver is very, very fun.
We'll comment about that later as Zoe solo charges up top. Is this solo though? Because Sansheng is coming right back in. Here comes the charge. The face is right there, and he will get the blink off. Silence on top. In fact, Song, they want Zoe.
They got both. Are they going to scout out Sansheng?
I think you go for Sansheng. No, you go for Zoe.
They wanted to kill off Zhou and get the ensnare on the dark tier. That's what DD was just off looking on his own, knowing he's going to catch him.
Ensnare.
Oh, it's too slow. Oh. The nighttime vision, I think he just caught vision of him too late.
But that was a dubious charge. I mean, going against...
Well, yeah, I completely agree. But the plan was the vacuum before he phase shifted. And if he vacuums from fog, you can't phase shift dodge the charge.
And they kind of perma bash him to the left, but
yeah.
Well,
doesn't work. And ultimately, they were really praying that LGD, he had no backup behind him, but he had 2-3 heroes, including a Song of the Siren, immediately behind him.
Right, again, going back to what we talked about during the drafting stage, is that LGD's traditional playstyle of 5-manning during the mid to late game is so good against a hero like Spirit Breaker, because he charges in like that without knowing what the allies are, and just gets picked off.
Well, yeah, back to the mid lane, going to keep on farming. It's this Mirana. It almost feels like could have just gone for some DPS items because Yao is doing.
Yo, don't disrespect the mech.
No, the mech is fine. It's more that I don't see what the diffusal blade does. I feel like the diffusal blade. It's not that it's a bad item. I just feel like those may be better items. He hasn't used any charges. The mana burn is kind of a non-factor.
I mean, are they actually thinking about chasing? Because it will purge off Darkseer's Surge.
Yeah, that's true. And that's the one big.
Yeah.
I guess, use of it.
And Naga Siren's been picking up a ton of farm. He's got his Heaven's Howlbreak finish.
Yep.
That's insane right now against Spirit Breaker, who somehow still doesn't have his BKB. Mr. Burden, 0-11-11. Well done. I think ZSMJ is looking like the better carry this game. At least he's got a kill. And a lot less deaths. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Moo has got a Manta BKB, so he needs to just go for a pure damage item as his next big item. I'm fine with these two items early on. The Yasha gave him what he needed in the mid game, but at this point he needs to go straight Daedalus, or maybe an MKB. But the Daedalus, I feel, is what's going to be able to give Tongfu a chance in the late game.
Yeah, speaking of Daedalus versus BKB, earlier you were asking me what I thought about Weaver's BKB. I'm not too sure whether you want to go full Pinoy mode with Lincoln's BKB. We'll talk about that later as mid-engagement happened. Yao looking for arrow. Looks like, XTT. Looks like he's ensnared up, but Yao, nice disruption is saving him a little bit. They got to use Song and get the hell out. Yao BKB stopping the Songs just right now, and XTT now finally succumbing to the Song, but Zoe says, thank you, I'm going to try to run out. That's not going to happen. That's his 12th death. Wall gets dropped. That wall's yet another whiff.
These fights are just so scrappy that landing spells like Wall of Replica in a good place with a vacuum is proving really difficult. Yeah. Dream Calls are proving really hard. It seems like Jiawei is just kind of using Dream Calls and winning rifts on like solo targets, which is not to say, yeah, I think it's exactly fine. That's what the game calls for, based on these very scrappy fights. And
yeah,
that was a good. I mean, once it's 1-for-1 trade. SB, who's not really the carry anymore, he's like your just initiator tank for a Mirana, who seems to be a more important hero, and it was also a trap kill. So. More track kills going the way of Tongfu.
Yeah, this is the game that, for me, I have never actually seen so little 5v5 team fights in a traditional Chinese games. In fact, there has been like 1 or 2 Chinese 5v5 team fights. Everything else is like 4v3, 4v5, 2v5.
Neither team has 5v5 team fight heroes.
I mean,
Naga Siren
Puck. I mean, that's.
It is at the same, like Naga Siren's a 5v5 hero if you have like some kind of a follow-up, like your Enigma Black Hole. Puck is kind of follow-up, but it's yeah. I'm gonna just he's just leaping towards bottom lane. Not doing. He actually used his Diffusal Blade just immediately to start off with on the Spirit Breaker that fight, but it's like not doing much. I feel Yao is much better off with a Manta style into some kind of a damage item.
If you think about it, doesn't that remove instantly all of the damage output a Spirit Breaker gets from his
well, he just
Greater Bash?
You just charge after you get diffused.
Yeah.
Or you ultimate and I guess you get less damage, but is
next level counter.
To reply to your question with another question.
Yeah.
Are LGD worried about this Spirit Breaker threat?
No, they are not.
He's got 12 deaths.
Threat is it's a very strong word about Zoe right now. I mean, he is actually definitely a mid-game threat, but since then, he needs some damage. He doesn't have enough tank ability to really... Like, it feels really sad when you play this particular role, like a melee carry that has to initiate, like a Chaos Knight, Spirit Breaker, especially once you get a negative score, you add to that negative score because you'll always charge in first and you'll always die.
It reminds me of back leading up to TI2 when Orange were playing with Yamate and they were kind of in a bit of a slump. He was playing Chaos Knight every game and it did not suit Yamate at all. His average score was like similar to this. It would be like 0-7, 1-8. He'd have all these like really poor scores. They'd just do these like CK Leshrac lanes. It would be Mushi like playing the farming carry as a Queen of Pain mid. And Yamate's like, dude, this isn't a hero I play. And this to me feels like what's happening to Zhou on this Spirit Breaker.
Well, Joe is used to charging in with things like Waveform and then Strength Morph and getting himself out of there. But, it's like, alright, he's got BKB. Does BKB matter here?
I mean, it just means he can get out of the puck coils and stuff, okay.
I mean, at the same time, there's a ton of magical damage output, so it does block a bit. What he needs to remember that is he could pop BKB in charge, and it will still retain its charge, because if he runs in right now, Xiao is waiting for him with a Cyber Vice.
Roshan attempt coming. Tongfu not contesting it just yet. They pop a trap, so they know what's going on. But it looks like they're too late. They can even sleep to secure this if they really want.
Yeah, and he blink steals. Nothing just yet. Weaver takes up the Aegis, and it's time to run. He's got to charge out. Charge? Nope, no charge.
No chance for Zhou. His 13th death of the game. This time the wall is actually a little better, but unfortunately there's no vacuum to follow it up. The BKB heroes aren't being slept to, so they're just going to try to bring them down, and with Weaver's base damage, they can sure as hell do that. The sleep now going to get cancelled. Moo versus Yao Tuji. Moo going to get the worst end of this.
No, Moo's
Still alive for a little. Was Song
Stolen
stolen?
Song? Yes,
I was
it
gonna say,
was.
What else is causing this
Oh
sleep?
my god, it's ZSMJ stolen Song.
Oh.
ZSMJ speaking, which is going to get
Bandit
brought
power.
down instantly. Triple kill. Zoe not popping his BKB to block the arrow or not charging out to remove himself from that ensnare was a huge mistake. And basically that caused the defeat of his that team fight and perhaps the game.
Yeah, and with these 3 heroes dead, it could just be the game here. There is a buyback on the Templar Assassin, which it looks like will have to be used to sort of defend this. Rubik as well, he's got buyback, so they've got multiple buybacks, and they
could glyph double buyback and charge once when Zoe's alive.
I think they're doing that. This glyph here, they're just saving the buyback for once he starts charging, and they're going to try catch LGD by surprise.
All right, where's
They've
the
got
charge?
to make it go.
No, nobody's making it go. You can see on the top lane, XCT's not even coming in. I mean, he should be tracking everybody up if they want to take a team fight, but there's nothing. In fact, they're chasing him right now. No chase just yet.
They're just waiting for respawns here. If they lose double Raxes, that's GG in my eyes.
A Spirit Breaker's not going to carry you back. No way in hell.
TA's just got to buy back right now. They're losing 4 Raxes. I can't believe Tongfu didn't use their buybacks and just tried to make a stand.
Uh-oh, Zoe's going to... Oh, no. Popping the BKB now. He's going to get focused down. Look at how quickly he's dropping to the Desolator.
Still no buyback from Moo. I mean, sure, he's 2 seconds away, but he's just got to buy back. They decide it's GG. If you're going to GG out, why didn't they just buy back and take the fight at the mid-Raxes? I mean, to me, it was like a 10% chance they maybe win the fight with the buybacks, but you've just got to go for it. But they don't. Tongfu GG out. They lose game 1 against LGD. It was an entertaining one, though.
Not Russian enough. Russian would have bought back.
Well, LGD with the Russians there, they were playing some aggressive Dota from the get-go. They got off to a really big early game start and lead and looked good for a while. Tongfu showed some signs of life come mid-game. Some really nice play by ZSMJ on the Rubik, but it wasn't enough.
It wasn't good enough, and Xiaotuji, again, very impressive Weaver play, had 1 death, not sure how that even happened, but it happened. So, 15-1 and 15 is game 1 score for LGD, beating out Tongfu. This is the best of 3 series for the SinaCup.
Yep.
Dota 2, Supernova, Dota something.
You were complaining that yesterday we weren't prepared, didn't have stuff on our monitor, so here
now
we
we have a 1 screen.
Yeah.
Doesn't even move.
Do you want me to make it move? I can just like drag the window and have it like twirl around for you.
Get some dubstep and yeah.
Pumping out of the screen.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Game 2 coming up next. Don't go nowhere, guys.